history. Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. Those Rajas who performed rituals and sacrifices were called Rajas of Janapadas. The more powerful Janapadas were known as Mahajanapadas. Most of the Mahajanapadas were fortified and each had a capital city about 2500 years ago. The map above shows the chief Mahajanapadas. Of the Mahajanapadas, Magadha was one of the most powerful. Those Rajas who performed the Ashwamedha Yagna were also considered to be very powerful. The Raja had a charioteer or the driver of his horse-pulled chariot, who was his companion, and he would recite stories of the Raja's glory. The Ashwamedha was actually performed by the priest. The Ashwamedha horse was allowed to roam about, and the Rajas in whose territory the horse roamed would come and meet the Ashwamedha procession, bringing with them many gifts. The ordinary people or the Vish or Vaishyas also would come, but the Shudras were not invited. Vedic literature. It was around 3000 years ago that the later Vedic period began. The preferred vehicle for battle by the Rajas was the war chariot. The Vedic literature, namely the Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda, were compiled during this period by the priest. The rules that were listed out in these texts were applicable to the society. Pottery. Painted braveware was the pottery that was common during this period about 3000 years ago. Plates and bowls were used on special occasions to serve fruits to important people during this period. Varnas, groups in society. There were 4 major divisions of the society, namely Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. These divisions were known as the Varnas by the priest. The Brahmins had the responsibility of performing sacrifices and rituals. They were also engaged in teaching. They were the recipients of many gifts. The Vaishyas or the Vish comprised of farmers, herders and traders. The Kshatriyas were the rulers who fought battles. The Shudras, also later known as untouchables, had to do menial jobs like cleaning, hunting and gathering. They were the scavengers of the society. They had to perform burials and cremations. Magadha and Vajas. Magadha was a city with immense resources. Around the city, the walls were built like fortress. Taxes were collected from the people and many improvements in the agricultural practices were made. The craftsmen of this city were very skilled in making strong tools and weapons of iron. Initially, the capital of Magadha was Rajgriha, present-day Rajgir, but later it was shifted to Pataliputra, modern-day Patna. Two of the most powerful rulers of Magadha were Bimbisara and Ajatashatru. They defeated the Nanda rulers and conquered many Janapadas. The kings of Magadha were followers of Buddhism and they promoted this religion. A famous Buddhist book that was written nearly 2300 years ago describes in detail about both Vajas and Magadha. Magadha was considered a strong and powerful Mahajanapada, while Vajas was only a Gana or Sangha. The second ruler of Magadha, Ajatashatru, wished to conquer Magadha about 2500 years ago. Being a staunch believer in Buddhism, he sought the advice of Buddha, who himself belonged to a Sangha known as Sakya. When Buddha inquired about Vajas, He understood that this was a Sangha whose rulers did not rule by force. Instead, they followed rules, met, discussed, and acted in a very cooperative manner. They were also responsible for the construction of many chaityas. The Sanghas then lasted for many more years. The invasion of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, as he was popularly known, was a Greek ruler from Macedonia in Europe. He attacked India from the northwest, conquering many territories up to the river base. But his army could not advance further because the Magadhan soldiers were guarding their kingdom on the opposite bank of the river base. During this period, in Athens, the capital Greece, democracy prevailed. The voting age was 30 years and above. Their assemblies held meetings and discussions nearly 40 times per year. It was compulsory for the citizens to serve in the army and the navy. Buddha and Mahavira. Siddhartha was born in Lumbini in present-day Nepal about 2500 years ago. He belonged to Gana that was called Sakya. He undertook severe penance and left the comforts of the palace in search of knowledge at a very young age. He got enlightenment as he meditated under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya in Bihar. It was after this that he became to be known as the Buddha or the Wise One. Though the exact date of his death is unsure, it is believed that he passed away at Kusinagara when he was 80 years old. He founded Buddhism. Buddha gave his first sermon at Sarnath, and the stupa that is constructed there remains a testimony to the great event. It was during this time that Vardhamana Mahavira also spread his message and founded Jainism. His follower was called Jaina. There were many similarities in the teachings of both Buddha and Mahavira. Both of them taught in the Prakrit language, which was the language of the ordinary people of Magadha. They had meetings and discussions with other learned scholars of the time. Both of them encouraged people to lead an honest, disciplined, and simple life. There was no inequality based on caste in both their religion. During this period, both Buddhism and Jainism became very popular. The monks of both the religions spread their message and teachings by traveling from place to place. They led a very simple life in the monasteries, and much of their time was spent meditating. Caves and viharas. Caves were hollowed out in the hills. The most famous of this is the Karla Caves in Maharashtra. Permanent shelters for the monks, known as viharas, were constructed at many places. During this time, many thinkers like Gargi preached that Atman and the individual soul were one. Their thoughts and ideas were shared with others through dialogues and discussions. Shaunaka and Abhipratarin were two sages who worshipped the universal soul. The Upanishads throw light on the dialogue between a wise beggar and these two sages, wherein the latter gets more knowledge about the universal soul. During the time that Buddhism and Jainism were becoming popular, the Brahmins developed a system of ashramas or stages of life. Here, ashrama does not mean the place of stay and meditation. Instead, it is considered a stage of life. The people belonging to three upper class Varnas, namely the Brahmins, the Kshatriya and the Vaishyas had to follow these ashramas. The Shudras and women were not permitted to follow the system of ashramas.